Hello, today we're going to be talking about accountability as a character quality. My name is TJ Prendergast. I'm the swim coach here at Beckman High School, and we expect our swimmers to be accountable not only to themselves, but we also, as a coaching staff, expect to be accountable for our athletes and have that relationship with them. So how do we define accountability? Well, you'll see here that the root of that definition is the term accountable. So you then have to define accountable as subject to giving an account or capable of being explained. And then obviously we need to then transfer that definition to sports. So we basically break that down as being accountable to ourselves as an athlete and ultimately to your peers, your teammates, your parents, and the coaching staff. That when you are performing and practicing, that you're doing that to the best of your ability, and if something goes wrong, it's nobody else's fault. You have to be accountable for yourself. And in doing that, we look at Teaching Character Through Sport by Bruce Brown, and he has a section where he defines the difference between an athlete and a non-athlete. And as part of that, he decides to define what does it mean for an athlete to be accountable. And so we see here that it ties into what it is we're trying to do as a staff with our swimmers. So some examples of how I've had this in the past. So a long time ago when I still coached girls water polo, I had an athlete who showed up to practice, wasn't really putting in her best effort. I said, "What's wrong?" She goes, "I'm sore." I'm like, "Why are you sore?" She goes, "Oh, well, I did some stuff this weekend that exerted a lot of energy and I'm sore from it." Come to find out, she went mountain climbing, which takes a lot of energy and is a high risk endeavor, but she was sore from that. So we had to have a conversation about the accountability to herself and her teammates, and then ultimately the coaching staff and the parents about not being prepared to be ready for the next game because she couldn't put forth the full effort in practice the day before. Our swimmers, we have them do goal sheets, and I just so happened to have this happen last season, so it's a current example of a couple of swimmers didn't turn in their sheet. Well, I collect the sheet so I can then help them know what their goals are. And when they didn't turn in the sheet, I came to them and I said, "I need your sheets." "Oh, sorry, coach, I was busy, I'll do it." Well, 3, 4, 5 weeks roll along, I stopped asking for the sheet. One of the swimmers comes to me and says, "Why?" I said, "If you haven't set your goals by now, the odds of me being able to help you achieve them are very low. We needed to do it at the beginning." So he had to hold accountability for not only not setting his goals, but not having the sheet for me to then help his goals, and we had to have a conversation about that. So when we're looking at accountability, as I said before, we as coaches need to model that. We need to have that expectation that we are accountable also. That we don't blame things on an official that have really not that much to do with our preparation and our performance in a contest, or blame it on someone else from the other team or a teammate. And so we have here John Wooden's quote, "Young people need models, not critics." And that really puts into light this idea that we as coaches aren't there to yell at them and get angry when they mess up, but to show them that they need to have that accountability for the reasons I described before. So sometimes we have to be reminded of why we need to be accountable. So we're going to look here at a quick video clip on that.
Some people see the thing that they want, and some people see the thing that prevents them from getting the thing that they want. You don't have to wait in line. You don't have to do it the way everybody else has done it. You can do it your way. You can break the rules. You just can't get in the way of somebody else getting what they want. Sometimes you're the problem. Take accountability for your actions. You can take all the credit in the world for the things that you do right, as long as you also take responsibility for the things you do wrong. It must be a balanced equation. You don't get it one way and not the other. You get to take credit when you also take accountability. It sounds easy, it's not. Practice being the last to speak, and at the end, you will get your turn.
If you're going to fail at something, you fail at it. Don't fail at it because somebody else put you in a situation for failure, because this allows you to make the corrections.
If you want to take the island, you burn the boats. Because when you burn those boats, there's no going back. You're going to find a way to make things work. First step is you got to have a vision. A vision for what it is you really, truly want. Not what you think you want or what you should have. It has to be a compelling vision. It's got to have something that has the power to pull you, not something you have to push yourself to do. Those are two different kinds of motivation. Push requires willpower, and willpower never lasts. What will last is pull. Having something so exciting, so attractive, something you desire so much that you have a hard time going to sleep at night and you get so up early in the morning to a rocket and take it to the next level. So it's got to be a vision that's compelling. Something that you know it's going to be a gift to make sure that it happens. And also, along with that compelling vision, you got to have strong enough reasons that you're going to follow through when the going gets tough. That's one of the biggest things missing for most people. They say, this is what I want to do. It's not very exciting, it's not very compelling, but most importantly, they don't have strong enough reason to push themselves through what's going to be necessary to get that dream, to get that goal. When the inevitable challenges come up, when you're starving, hungry, and you're trying to go on a diet, right? When you got no time, you're stressed out, and you haven't worked out still, that's what you're supposed to do. When the economy gets tight, and what you thought you were going to do doesn't work, and so you give up on the goal instead of finding another way to get there. You don't let the fear take you over if you've got strong enough reasons. Those reasons can be positive, or those reasons can also be negative. They can be, if I don't do this, this is going to cost me. And if I do this, this is what I'm going to gain in my life. Reasons come first, answers come second. If you get a compelling vision and you got strong enough reasons that will push you through the tough times, you're going to do things other people don't do. Instead of collapsing, even if you get off target, you won't go, oh, I blew it. You'll get right back on target, make the change, make things happen.
So I personally believe that video is pretty compelling. I show it to my swimmers at the beginning of the season so that they understand why we're asking them to set goals and why the importance of accountability is stressed. So in conclusion, I have a quote here from Catherine Pulsifer that kind of ties everything together that I've been discussing. We want our athletes to be accountable for themselves. We want to be role models for that. Thank you for your time.